Hey everybody, today we're taking a look at Parrot Security OS, the new release 5.2, and we're going to focus on two sections of utilities. We're going to focus on live host identification and network and port scanners. So let's go ahead and jump into this. So all your programs you can access from the applications menu under pen testing, and we're in information gathering. As I said, we want to start with live host identification, and we're going to use the artping command. And if you open this up, it opens a terminal and asks for your password, and it gives you the usage. So we are going to take that and we're going to use ARPING, and we're going to put in an IP address, and it is going to go ahead and scan that host. And the neat thing about this command is that it is using ARP instead of ICMP to ping the host. So we'll go ahead and quit out of that and close the terminal. Next one, going into that same menu, information gathering, live host identification. We're going to look at fping. F as in Frank, ping. Enter password. And it gives usage again. The example we're going to use on this will let you put in multiple IP addresses. So we're going to do fping, and we'll put in 3 IP addresses, and it spits back that all 3 are alive. And we'll quit out of the terminal again. And once more, we'll come in here, information gathering, live host identification. And the last scanner we want to use here, or ping utility we want to use here, is hping3. Our terminal we've enlarged, and we'll enter password. Okay. So this ping utility has some of the features of tools like nmap. So if we use hping3-1, we can do an ICMP scan. We will scan for an open port, and so we'll use hping3-v-s port 80, and we can again see that host is turning back responses. And then finally, the acknowledgement scan, hping3-c2-v port 80. And so we've told it to do 2 pings, verbose mode, and it's looking for port 80, and it's connecting from port 5050, and we specified our IP address. And so we did get results back. All right, moving on, we're going to take a look at a couple of network scanners, network and port scanners. So again, we go into pen testing. This time we're going into information gathering, network and port scanners, and we're going to start with masscan. Give that an enlarge, enter password. And again, it by default gives you usage details. We're going to clear that. And we can scan the whole subnet looking for hosts that have port 80 open. Just by specifying the port 80. And quite quickly, it's going to go through, and it gives you the results with the number of hosts found with that port open. And so it should be finishing my subnet here right quick. And so, of course, you could do, for instance, 8006, which is the default interface port for Proxmox. And it should be just the 4 that are found on the subnet. We'll see here in just a moment. And then 8007 is the interface port for Proxmox backup server. And again, it returned no hosts, which is kind of interesting. Not sure why they didn't come back with one. Anyway, that is masscan. And there are times when this utility is quite a bit faster than our next utility that we're going to look at, which is nmap. Network and port scanners, nmap, which many of you have likely seen before. One of the great things about nmap is it does run pretty much anywhere. Linux, Mac OS, Windows, and probably some other operating systems like BSD and potentially some more obscure things. So we're going to do first an example from the man file. We're going to do nmap-a-t4, and we're going to use their example domain, scanme.nmap.org. And so with this particular scan, the -a enables OS detection, version detection, script scanning, and traceroute, all as one command. And that did return back. So they are running Apache HTTPD 247 on Ubuntu. And they've got some things on here, and they intended this specifically for scanning purposes. Go ahead and use Control-L to clear our screen. A handy keyboard shortcut to know about, which does in fact work on Linux, Mac OS, and Windows if you're using PowerShell or Windows Terminal on Windows 11. So we'll run one final scan, and we're going to do nmap-o-v, lowercase v, and we're going to do my subnet. And here's another opportunity for a learning situation. So this particular scan requires root privileges. So you could sit here and type sudo nmap blah blah blah, but who wants to spend time retyping commands? So if you do sudo and bang bang, it's going to run that previous command with root privileges. And that's a whole lot easier than retyping things or hitting the arrow key and rerunning it that way. So just for reference, the -o we used in this one is OS detection, and the -lowercase v increases the verbosity level, and you actually have the option of using a -v to increase verbosity one additional level. And this will come back here in just a moment or two, and we'll see our full results. And while we're waiting, I just want to point out that there are many other utilities available under the pen testing menu item. You've got some commonly used things here, and it even includes PowerShell, the cross-platform PowerShell. Information gathering, you're looking at just a slew of utilities. Many of these can also be found in Kali Linux, in Backbox, and other distributions that are related and targeting security people. Now, personally, I view distributions like this as a great learning environment because you can get exposure to many of these tools and become familiar with their usage and learn the names of them. And then once you have a little bit of experience using some of these, you can take a standard Ubuntu distribution or a Debian distribution, and you can install these, the set of utilities that will be most used by you, and you can create your own smaller distribution that has these utilities installed and not have to worry about installing all the stuff that you're not going to use. So that is something to keep in consideration, and it can save you some space in your virtual machine or if you're dual booting or what have you. Alright, so we've got our final results back. 256 IP addresses, 29 hosts up, scanned in 190.73 seconds, and it's telling you how many raw packets were sent and how many were received. And of course you can scroll back up here and see the different information about these hosts on the network. Now, not all of these are going to be accurate. For example, I'm not sure why this is still pulling Thecus embedded, because I have not had a Thecus NAS on my network in quite a number of years. Your mileage may vary on some of the OS detection things. But generally, you will find that there is some truth to what is going on here, or at least hints at what it could be. Now, of course, you get the difficulty level, and this is a TCP sequence prediction, and that is one thing that can tip you off that even the OS detection may not be completely accurate. It did, in fact, identify my MAC address as being from Supermicro, but it is most definitely not related to Thecus in any way. Just something to keep in mind there, but as you can see, these utilities give you more information than what you might generally see from something like Advanced IP Scanner or Angry IP Scanner, both of which you can find on Windows generally. But those are good in another way because they're easy to grab, both being available via Winget, and they are a low barrier to entry for people that don't use the command line. And if you need something simple and quick, that's great. That's going to wrap up this video today. Hopefully you will get something out of this, and if you did, do the thing down below the video or in the interface where you find that thumbs up button, and think about leaving a comment. If there's something you want to see in Parrot Security OS, let me know. I am going to be taking a look at some of the other utilities available, and we will probably bounce between Parrot and Backbox and Kali and a few others that are starting to pop up that all share a common or mostly common set of utilities, but some of them are based on Ubuntu, some on Debian, some on Arch, and other things. And, the more the merrier, right? So on that note, I'm going to let everybody go. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a great day.